Hi, good evening, everybody. I think this is the time when everybody's feeling a little sleepy, so we're going to try and make this a little interesting. So A to B of ABC of D2C. There's been a lot spoken about today during the day about how online is not necessarily a great place to go, and how online might not be the future of retail. And here we have a panel full of online retailers, retailers who are largely online, and it's going to be an interesting session, and we're going to find out if this business is actually going anywhere. Because the room's packed with offline retailers, and a lot of you guys are actually business models that we're not convinced about. So, but it's interesting, it's a learning for all of us. And I'm hoping that we find the middle, because I don't think business is an absolute, it's ever moving, business is moving, and I don't know whether online is out or online only will work, but I think as a largely offline retail community, we'd like to learn, what the secret sauce you guys are brewing at home, and what makes you so convinced. So I'll get started with all of you giving us an introduction of each of you. We'll start from Sanjoy and...
Hi, good evening. Vanakkam. My name is Dr. Sanjoy Kumar Das. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Fipola Retail. Fipola Retail is a meat retail company. Last RAI conference, we were 25 outlets. Today we are 100 outlets in 6 cities, and we are constantly growing.
Hi, I'm Vishal Khandelwal. I'm Head of Retail for Wakefit Innovation. Wakefit Innovation is a D2C sleep solution company. Started in 2016, but during COVID, we expanded into home solution company. Today, we are servicing almost entire pin code of India. From zero, we have reached to 600 crores in 6 years of time. And we also started our retail journey, not purely just being on e-com. We have 10 stores as of now across India, and plan to have around 20 more by year end.
Hi, I'm Vinod Ramakanan. I'm founder and CEO of Spenta Digital. So we are basically a marketing agency. We support D2C brands and legacy brands to go on the D2C route. We also support in terms of online to offline market and offline to online store conversions as well. So.
Hi, this is Siddharth here. I'm the founder and CEO at Snitch. Snitch is a men's fast fashion brand based out of Bangalore. It's been 2 years that we've started this, and seen a tremendous growth from having 35 products when we started to having over 3,500 products currently. From doing 7 orders a day, today we do about 1,800 plus orders only through our own platform. Yeah.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Narendra. I'm the chief farmer and founder at Nandu's Foods. We are a 60-year-old poultry company. As an extension of our B2B business, I started Nandu's in 2017. We operate in Bangalore and Hyderabad. We are fully integrated, hyperlocal and omni-channel meat retail brand.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kavin from Maybell. We are a women's wear brand from Chennai, started in 2000. Our designs are inspired from the South Indian art and culture. We currently have 14 exclusive brand outlets, and we also serve to the large multi-brand outlets as well. And we have a decent e-commerce presence. So yeah, that's pretty much about Maybell. Thank you.
So quickly, we'll start with you, Kavin, because I know a little bit about your business. What percentage of your business today is online?
40% of our business is through online right now.
40% of your business is online. And quickly, how many of you here have an offline business as well? So that's 4 out of 6. And what's the split that you guys have?
We do about 40% of our business online, about 60% offline. That's what we do.
So we have a retail business of 50%, and 50% is merchants as well as our online.
And you at Wakefit?
For Wakefit, almost 90% of business is online. About 10% is coming from retail business stores.
So how is it that we offline retailers think that you guys don't have a business model?
I
Where do you
so-
think we're missing? Where do you think we're missing this?
I
Do you,
think there's
do you think that you will eventually pivot into offline and you'll shut your online businesses down? Is this a journey for you to enter offline and then finally move to online, or what's the journey? What's the plan? Does online actually make money for you? Do you actually make money on your online businesses, standalone?
We were cash profit from second year onward. So our online business is making money. And I don't think we will ever shut down our online, because online is something which helped us reaching out to customer. So online or D2C is far more democratic, far more easier than a retail business where you have to invest heavily on capex. You have to find good location. Yeah, you have to find the right set of people. But with D2C or online, we were able to reach, when we started our mattress business back in 2016, we were able to reach the market which were unpenetrated. So, and also we solved a problem where mattress, because we started mattress, nobody in 2016 would have thought mattress can be sold online. But our co-founder, he was into, selling chemical products with a German multinational. He happened to visit one of the store to buy a mattress for himself from a reputed mattress brand. And then he realized the amount of money he was paying for the mattress was almost 5 to 6 times than the input cost. So then this idea came to him: why can't I start, selling mattress direct to customer to cut down the middlemen, cut down all the inefficiencies in the market, and pass on that, part of cost back to customer. So that helped us not only being profitable from year 2 onwards, but also giving value back to customer. So I don't see Wakefit as a brand would ever go back purely on offline.
And there are two meat retailers here. One is a forward integrated, that is you're starting from the farm, you've gone all the way to retail, and you're largely, would you call yourself a trader, or how do you define that?
So we have been a D2C omni-channel player from the day one. We're a 6-year-old startup, and we are the largest now retail come omni-channel player in South India.
And
now.
what part of your business is online? What split is it?
Yeah, so I did say it's 50-50%, and I would like to say that omni-channel here means that you are into all channels. You are into retail, that is that typically you come to the store and you purchase. Your online, your merchants as in all kinds of Swiggy, Zomato, Dunzo, and all that. You're also into the B2B2C, which is nowadays Zepto and all this, Blinkit and all which have come in. And also we are doing a B2B as well. So there's a very small portion of B2B.
So do you really need an online channel? What if you did only offline stores?
See, online channel actually will give us, wings to go much further. Like example, say any store, every store has a 5 kilometers difference. When we entered, say, Bangalore or Hyderabad, we've opened, say, approximately 30 store each places. So it is a 5-kilometer diameter that we leave. And a retailer, a retail customer will probably come to you from 2 kilometers. Whereas online, they would like to purchase even 5-6 kilometers. So we can reach that person in 5-6 kilometers, and we can cover the entire radius.
And yours?
Yeah, see, our journey is slightly different. For us, it's not important whether the business is online or offline. We were actually producing poultry for a long time and taking our produce to the end consumer through traders. For me, it was more important to reach the consumer and capture that margin. That is what actually motivated the business of building Nandus. And when we actually went back to the drawing board and said, we want to have a differentiator, and how we differentiate from the rest of the meat retailers is we are the only ones who are producing antibiotic-free meat today. So with that differentiator, now you have to choose which channels you are going to take the product to the end consumer. And if you look at our category, say, for us, I think generally what happens is one should focus on what they are trying to sell to the end consumer. So in our category, meat is largely procured offline. And the meat buying experience in India is so broken today that people don't want to go to the meat store. Even if they did go, they just want to run away from there. So for us, it was more important to address that question, and that happened to be offline, right? And what is also happening is we are seeing a larger trend in the market where consumers are looking for convenience. Ones who are quite happy staying at home and trusting the brand to deliver great quality meat. And that's where online comes in. So with our produce, now we had these options to go offline, online, and both are equally important. So offline largely for us, and online is a hedge. We are betting on the future with online. We want to be present so that when the market matures and explodes, we are right there to exploit, right? So it's important for anybody who's offline to also have a presence online. It's very critical.
But does online make sense for you in terms of costs and in terms of, if you were to compare your online costs, customer acquisition, customer servicing, and fulfillment cost vis-a-vis an offline store, if they were to be in absolutes,
correct.
Would you make a choice, or is that choice difficult to make? Essentially where I'm leading this question up to is that all of us in offline retail, we're always grappling with that question: how much money should we put into online? Right. Should we, shouldn't we?
Right.
When should we put it? When's the timing right? So much buzz about online, but every time we go and touch that online, business, your fingers get burned. So, so from that perspective, it's a large question looming on our heads, and then there's a buzz about online all the time. Right?
No, you see, I'm a very strong believer in not all business is going online. Some of the business is also going online. Now, is there loyalty for an online consumer into your brand? Absolutely not. An online consumer is the most unloyal consumer that you can ever find. Somebody else gives them a discount coupon, they're off, right? So the customer acquisition costs are incredibly high. And until you pick up certain volumes, your delivery costs are incredibly high. You're actually paying people to actually buy your product. It becomes such. So there are other ways to crack it. You could actually be participating in other third-party marketplaces and etc. So in our case, what we did was, when we wanted to push our online sales, we didn't actually push our own platform. We actually rode on Swiggy's and Dunzos, and we were the first ones to start meat retailing on Swiggy. So we cut them a margin and said, your large delivery force is not doing anything in the morning hours. Can you deliver for me? We have these 50-odd stores.
But you're saying that you wanted to be online at any cost. You feel it's important for you to be online. Which medium or online, whether it's a marketplace or your own website, but you're saying that online is not a choice you will make.
Online is not a choice. You have to be there, but make sure you're on an online channel that doesn't burn money.
Is that possible?
That is critical. Sorry?
Is that possible?
Well, it is a burn, but lesser of the evil,
So, Kavin, now you have MBO, you have EBOs, and you have online. And there's such a thing called channel conflict, right? I'm also a brand, and we have a strategy in-house, but I'm asking you the questions. So how do you handle that? What do you do?
I think so.
Why don't you open 25 more stores?
I'll just give a little black story of how e-commerce was very essential for us and how it really enabled us. So Maybell, when it was started in 2000 by my mom and dad, at that time the only concept was to dress women better at home, because everyone was focusing on outerwear and party wear and workwear. So they wanted to dress women better at home, because at that point women nightwear was not considered something fashionable, or the fit was not great. It was just a necessity. So they wanted to bring a design element to it, make it more comfortable, give them the fit. So they hired the best designer from NIFT, and they got the product out, and they went into the market with the product. At that time, the small MBOs were not very happy with it. The large format stores they loved the product because, it was it had the fashion, and the crowd coming there really loved the product. So we started supplying to these large format stores, a couple of them, which they took us to Pan India, and we were doing really well for 8 to 9 years. And all the large format stores, at one point started converting into private labels. So all the brands into private labels. So that's when they called up my dad and said that, hey, we want to convert into your private label. Product is good, everything's good, but we're converting into private label. So at that point, my dad felt he was very passionate about what he was doing. So So he said that I'm not ready to convert into a private label and become a manufacturer, so we'll step out. So we had to step out of two of the largest large format stores, and literally we were back to ground zero. So the large format stores are not there, and it does not make sense to open an exclusive brand outlet just for nightwear. So we are stuck with, again, back to square zero, that customers are there are people who love our product, we have the product, but we don't have a medium to reach them. So then we ventured into the other product categories like kurtas, skirt sets, and then we started supplying to these multi-brand outlets. In 2018 is when literally the nightwear became extinct for Maybell. We had a huge fan following, but we didn't have the means to reach them. So in 2000, we still had an online presence. In 2015, we opened our website, but it was not doing great. Like, there was no focus on it. So in 2018, when I was working for an internet service provider, and I saw the huge internet penetration into the country, and there's a lot of opportunity for brands to capitalize on it. Not many people are, getting onto it. So that's when, we got together as a family, and then we discussed with the members. And we realized that we were focusing on the wrong category, because the kurtas and skirt sets were highly competitive in the e-commerce space as well. So we wanted to bring in the nightwear, and all, like my dad, everyone got excited, because that's what they're really passionate about, and that's what they started creating. So we thought there's a space in the nightwear market. So we got, in 2019, we put the designs, everything. We got the products in place. Correctly, in 2020, when we were about to do the photo shoot, COVID hit us. So again, it took us back a few months. And then in June, when we launched the products online, then we had a great team as well. We set up the great team. The nightwear went off the shelves. Like, we launched the product. In a couple of weeks, the products will get sold out. Wow. So that's when we realized, then we used to talk to those customers and ask them. Then they'll say, I bought your 90 10 years back. I bought your 90 12 years back.
You found your old customers.
We found our old customers. So we used e-commerce as a medium to really talk to our old customers and all bring them back on fold. So the sales from there on just really skyrocketed. And nightwear was something which, again, the MBOs and everything were not
contrasting
hesitant.
to what he says, you brought back loyalty, he said there's no loyalty.
We brought back loyalty. That is how we brought back loyalty. And from there on, it just went skyrocketed high. And we have been doing huge volumes of business in our nightwear, especially in e-commerce. And that has been working out really well for us. And we're still profitable.
So do you see any channel conflict?
Channel conflict, we kept nightwear exclusively for our e-commerce as well. And that too, e-commerce, I'm talking about directly on our website. So we do around 8,000 to 9,000 orders per month. And that is solely on nightwear. Majority is on nightwear. And there's no product conflict. And it's on our website. We still haven't gone to marketplace, because at the amount of demand, we were not able to fulfill the demand at that particular time. In fact, Myntra, these all large format stores again came back to us, saying, why don't you supply your nightwear, because it's doing really well. And again, the pandemic propelled the nightwear category as well.
So online, yes or no?
Of course, yes.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
Siddharth, you've super success story you are. I've been watching your brand for a while now. Sometimes I get some anxiety also when I see you. But great job, first of all, on what you're doing, Snitch. What do you, if you can quickly give us some numbers that you're doing, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, so so I started Snitch in 2019. Prior to this, I was into manufacturing, retail, etc. So 2019 is when I started Snitch, more like an offline B2B brand, wherein we used to label them as Snitch and then sell to large format retail across India. We got immediate success because we were into fast fashion. Everyday retailers were getting new products. And then the pandemic hit us. We were left with a huge inventory. The first thought was, maybe go on an Ajio or a Myntra, try and liquidate stocks. But then realized that, A, we wouldn't be making any money there, and B, the brand wouldn't get any recognition. We'll be one amongst the others. And then that was the whole thought process. We were a team of just 4 people, started on a Shopify website. 24 hours we could set up the website, barely 35 products. And we started getting good organic, traffic. The first 100, I would say the first 100 orders were very sweet because they're all your friends and families. And after 1 week, we realized, wow, what happened now? Because, now everyone's forgotten, everyone's back to their own world. And that is when we understood the process of brand building. So we were a label till 2019-20, and then 20 onwards, we started building a brand. a brand that could pull consumers. We innovated a lot of products. Our designs are very quirky. We've priced it exactly between a Max and an H&M. We are not very cheap. We are not very expensive. So we are a proper mass premium brand. Just to give you a few numbers, 2019 we did 17 crores. 2021 we closed at 44. This year we are looking to hit at least 85 to 90 crores in revenue.
And this is sale revenue.
100%,
This is not GMV.
100% online.
Online, and it's not GMV, it's net sale revenue.
It is net sales, yeah,
Like
absolutely.
if you had a retail store and if you're doing a billing counter, that's revenue.
Yeah, absolutely. This is, net sales excluding all returns, exchange, etc.
And you've raised money,
No, we are 100% bootstrapped.
you're bootstrapped.
Yeah.
And you're profitable.
Yes, we are, but at a very low EBITDA. A single digit as of now, but we hope to go to a double digit in the next 12 to 14 months.
So where do you go from here in the next 36 months, 48 months? Do you have a 5-year plan?
So for us, it is very important to be omni-channel. So different strategies across different markets is what we've thought of. First, we are coming up with digital experience stores. Again, not high operational cost stores. So these would be more like experience stores because apparel is always going to be the touch and feel factor. What we've observed is men are very sticky, compared to women. If you go with your wife to a mall, she might buy 10 different products from 10 different shops. You would go to one store, fulfill all your quota for 1 month and come out of it. That is why we started adding a lot of categories. We started off with shirts, then we saw, okay, a person who's buying a shirt is also buying a t-shirt. Then we got in denims, that is how we observed that, men are very sticky, and I think the success to any business is understanding human psychology and changing that with time. You would have never thought that, you would get groceries delivered in 10 minutes or maybe, cabs booked in 2 minutes. So you'll have to, keep pushing yourself forward and keep transforming yourself as per your consumers. And we are a consumer-obsessed brand. Just to give you an example, when we started off, we barely had about 200 followers on our Instagram page. Today, we have over 200K followers. And the reason is because of the kind of team and support that we built. So to be successful online, especially on your own platform, your support needs to be at par with a Najio, Myntra, or any marketplace.
What do you mean by support?
Your customer support.
Customer
we were one of the first brands who, apart from these marketplaces, who used to give refunds at pickup.
Sorry, refunds?
Refunds at pickup.
Wow.
So you've requested.
What if it's a defective piece that's been sent back to you?
So we had a QC agreement with the logistic partners. They charge you about 30-40 rupees for it per product. They would do the entire QC, upload pictures, you have to approve, and the refund is initiated immediately. So by just doing these small little things, what we observed is customers started trusting us. We were barely about 20 months old. Currently we are just 20 months old. We have over 6 lakh downloads on our app with a 4.5-star rating. And the reason is absolutely because how customer obsessed we are. Being everywhere where, the customer wants us, let it be, in terms of WhatsApp support, social media, etc. So yeah, it has been a roller coaster ride for us.
Kumar, he needs to do a master class for us, Kumar, for all of us offline retailers. So we're going to invite you to a master class. Yeah? Yeah. So somebody like you, this is what you do, right? D2C, see, I think the word D2C, sometimes I find it very strange because everybody's selling to a consumer only, right? What is this D2C? Suddenly there's a new name called D2C, So how many brands have you enabled in the D2C space? And what are some of the interesting insights that you've seen?
So basically, there are 3 things, right? One is when you sell it through your retail outlet. One is through D2C, which is basically through your website. And then you have your marketplaces. which is technically not D2C. So
No, but D2C means through a website is called D2C. What is retail? What is a store called?
yeah, I mean, that's D2C as well, in a way, but that's just a word that's been coined. So in a way that
Just a
consumer
word for
information.
valuations, right? I think suddenly.
So yeah, so we have worked with a number of brands in terms, especially in the last few years, where they've really scaled up pretty fast in terms of their scalability. It's mainly because like how I see it is like when you are trying to open new channels of offline stores, right? When normally traditionally people think about online marketing, they directly start thinking about the ad spend and whether I get the returns now. But when they're actually opening a new store, they understand that it takes time. So tomorrow if you open a store somewhere in Tinagar, for example, it's going to cost you a lot of money in terms of your deposit, infrastructure costs, interiors. So you need to have more stock when you have a physical store. Costs like that are being inbuilt, and people know that it's going to take time for an ROI. Whereas this is what a new age brand understands better, I believe. Whereas a traditional legacy brand is, they're open to investing on those kind of infrastructure costs, but not open to invest on online
No, but
marketing.
is there a path to profitability? So you see, you're a marketing agency, right? Yes. Do you show a path to profitability on a website?
Yes, definitely, yeah. So most of the brands we work with are profitable today, and it's mainly because we kind of work on reducing their customer acquisition cost. The return, there are a few metrics that are important, like the customer acquisition cost, how much are they buying in each visit they make on the website, average order value, again in terms of your lifetime value of a customer. So that's where your customer intelligence becomes very important, because in online you'll be able to kind of track his intelligence a lot. And once you're going phygital, so today the word is more of phygital, right? So once you have built your reputation online, how do you move into the offline channels and start making sure your online audiences are converting into offline, offline are converting into online? Basically today the consumer thought process is like, they don't want to come to you. You have to go wherever they want you to come. So you have to have a presence everywhere. So physical presence is very important again for online brands as well. I'm sure they have some future plans for building physical stores as well. But as a new age brand, I don't think he would have had this kind of a success if he had went into the traditional physical route, though, because he would have probably spent most of his money on the infrastructure and operational expenses in terms of, see, again, when you go online, most of your expenses are related to two things. One is your products cost, your cost of goods sold, and one is your marketing cost. Whereas in a physical store, you have other costs as well, like your operations, your HR costs, the number of people in your stores, your electricity.
But all your clients, or a majority of your clients, are profitable.
They are on, most of them are profitable, most of them are on the path to become profitable. So they're probably, some of them have just started. So normally I think 18 months is a good enough time for you to really become profitable.
Saying something, Kavin?
Yeah, talking about the brand loyalty. Yes, in e-commerce space, most of the consumers look for discount and immediately they might switch. But even in this very highly cutthroat competition as well, there are brands which are really, not cutting costs on giving these discounts. There's, if some people have heard about this brand called March Tea. It's a t-shirt brand. They have very simple SKUs, but they have a very strong brand value and very loyal customers. Like for me, I am one of their consumers, and I know a t-shirt, I can buy it in Tirupur for 150 rupees. But the t-shirt costs 1,500 rupees. But I still, love the brand and the way they communicate and the brand value, the entire brand ideology, I fall into it. So I influence my friends. And in this cutthroat business as well, you can build a good brand loyalty is what I...
How important is a recurring customer rate in your businesses? And what is your percentage of recurring customer rate? Because I think I'm assuming that a recurring customer rate is where you make money, right? Because if you're going to acquire the customer, a new customer every single time, then I don't know whether that metric will work. And I'm taking that out of what Siddharth said. So we'll start with you at Fipola. What's your recurring customer rate, and do you track it?
Customer,
and what's your recurring customer rate in online? What's your recurring customer rate in offline? And last but not the least, how many times do you acquire a customer online and then he buys offline as well? Do you have some number, something you could throw something?
So my product is a basic commodity. So we deal with meat and seafood. So if someone comes to the retail store and he's convinced that they are hygienic and they're good, then he may also go and order online, and he believes in it. He doesn't see it in the online order, but he has seen it last time and he believes and he can order. Our repeat customer has been 94%.
94?
94%.
Wow.
And, just to add up to online, which we have been speaking about, I think the pandemic helped us a lot. So pandemic, we did almost 100% online.
Yeah.
And almost 4 times we gained customers.
So after the pandemic, has the trend changed
Great
significantly?
change. I mean, 4 times. Like our customer, and revenue both went almost 4 to 5 times. And that's the way, we have really done well so far. I will say in the second pandemic, one of the Sundays, we have done 10,800 orders on one day in the, Chennai alone. So these are aspects. And also, that you were talking about clash in, the segments. But I would say it's an advantage. Like, you see Bangalore market, there is a young age, say around, till 40 years, they would like to order online. Whereas 40 to 60, they would like to go on a Sunday retail shop and they would like to order, they want to see, they want to spend some time and all that. So, for maintaining, getting more expansion of customers, probably both are the best option.
In our case, I'll say our repeat customer rate, because we are selling mattress, is not as high as say meat. We are about 30 or 35% odd.
But you still have 35% repeat
Yeah,
customer
because we
rate.
also move into home solution. So somebody who's buying a mattress is also buying a, say, bed sheet from us or a pillow. Now we are selling sofa and bed. So just to give an example, today when in 10 stores, almost 30 to 40% of footfall starts from the website. The journey starts from the website where customer goes on a GMV page, starts his journey, sees the store, sees the product, and then he approaches to
So you're saying you bring him from online to offline?
Offline, yeah. And likewise, the customer who are visiting store, they are buying more. So the UPT for customers who are buying purely online could be 2, whereas somebody who's buying our offline store, it is 2x of that value.
So you're soliciting a customer online and you're fulfilling offline?
Offline. And when I'm fulfilling offline, my UPT goes 2x.
Okay.
So that is helping us in a great way. And I would like to add, like, building trust is very, very, very important for a D2C brand. Yeah. So like for us, we sold almost 10 lakh mattresses.
Wow.
Yeah. In a matter of 6 years. And today we have almost like 4 lakh reviews, 4 plus on multiple channels, whether it's Amazon, Flipkart, our own Google store, our stores. So that has helped to build a credibility for any D2C brand to succeed. The trust is very, very, very foremost. So when we started our journey, our almost first 100 or 200 odd customer, our co-founder visited them personally, found out what are the challenges they are facing while they are buying a mattress, while we were delivering what kind of challenges. So we are the first company which introduced a rolled mattress. So it's a vacuumized rolled mattress, which goes not a traditional mattress the way we have been seeing. And then we were initially doing in a Goni bag. Some customers say, no, this is not the experience I want when I ordered online. I want the experience to be equally good or better. So then we put it in a bag. When we did a bag, then we realized it's very inconvenient because when we are delivering, so it's okay, our logistic partner can deliver to 10th floor, 12th floor. But when sometimes customers are not at home, he wanted to leave that at the security or at the reception of the building. So we put a handle onto the bag. So those small things which helps. Then when we were building our confidence, then we said we are confident about product. So we came with a 100 days return policy, no question asked.
What percentage is return?
So return is about 7 to 8%.
Wow.
And actually our returns are higher on sofa, which is a new category. Mattress is even lesser than that.
And do you have return in meat?
We do, but it's very less. It's around, say, 2 to 3% max.
And does it affect your metrics, your profitability? Are you able to, of course, meat you can't, return, you can't. But are you able to reprocess and sell those returns or for Wakefit? Obviously for meat,
no, there's
I'm hoping you're saying no.
Temperature. There's a huge temperature gap and we can't sell them.
Yeah, so but for Wakefit, do you do?
So we put them like mattress, we can put them, turn back into raw material.
So do you build it into your cost or do you turn it around? How does the return work?
Part goes in cost. Not everything like outer cover cannot be reused. Because that customer has used, it would be like wrong on our part to use it. So that is a waste. But the foam can be reconverted into something else.
Okay. So what's your return rate?
So currently we are at about 52%.
My God, 52%.
Yeah, so that's why I told you, right? Men are sticky.
Okay.
So, because
And what's your recurring customer rate?
yeah, so again, this is a very different metric to actually calculate. When you talk about CAC, right?
Right.
CAC could be for new customers, CAC could be for overall. But you're not sure that your old customer has also, I mean, would have come, seeing an ad somewhere. So just to define that exact metric is very difficult. But yeah, recurring
No, but
rate.
for your overall business,
Yeah.
right, for a retail store, for example, in our retail spaces, I think it would be safe to say that 50-60% would be our return rate for most of our offline businesses.
Correct.
So on that metric, looking at it from that view, what would be your returning rate?
It's at about 52%. So
you
in a
as well.
single day, if I have 1,000
No,
orders.
not return of goods, I'm saying customer return rate.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're talking about customer returns or?
Customers returning to your website.
Yeah, so every single day, if we have 1,000 orders, 520 are the people who have already bought from us.
And on that count, what is your product return rate?
Product return rate, again, this is a very interesting thing because when we started off, our product return rate was at 40-45%, including RTO and customer returns. And then that is when we brought in a lot of tools. How do we control? What are the reasons for returns? Is it fit? Is it too big? Is it too small? We study that data. We have a data analytic team just for that, who studies especially the returns and what are the issues and how could we solve them. Just to give you an example, just by changing size charts product-wise, our return ratio reduced by 25%. The obvious tendency, because I mean, you're in the same industry, that, kapda hai to lafda hai.
No, does return rate reduce with customers who have bought more than 2 times, more than 3 times? Do you measure that metric?
Yeah, absolutely, it
So
reduces.
is it because the first time he needs to know?
Yeah, absolutely, it reduces. But then again, your L size shirt cannot be standardized across every product. Right, like if it is a linen, it may shrink a little bit, or it may loosen up. Some fabric loosens up. I mean, it is something that you can't control, no matter how tight your QC is. But there might be that 2 to 3% difference, and that is why we started changing size charts product wise, and that itself reduced returns by about 20%.
And you, what do you do about return? Does it trouble you?
We don't have much. I mean, it's insignificant.
Insignificant.
Returns are insignificant because barely any of it comes back.
Okay.
And of course, if there are instances where customers are not happy and they want us to pick up or drop off the product, that is destroyed. Because by the time it actually goes to the consumer home and comes back, there's huge...
Is it a lot more difficult for you in the meat space, for both of you, to deliver an online order vis-a-vis an order where a customer comes and picks up? Is it a lot more work? Is it a lot less profitable?
You want to take that?
I wouldn't say that. See, like example, for online, if you have certain expenses of e-commerce, say SEO, you do publicity,
No, I'm
marketing,
saying
all
no
that.
return. I'm saying even packaging costs. Because, see, when I come to your store and I buy some meat, would it be the same packaging?
Yeah, same packaging we do. Only thing is that when we send on delivery, we have our own delivery boys.
Okay.
So, there's ice pack and all inside, so that it remains certain temperature.
And
Yeah, we have a similar mechanism, but we are trying to be a very sustainable company. So we actually communicate to the consumer. For the consumer who walks into the store, we offer a discount if he brings his container. We are completely focused on sustainability. We have a sustainability engineer in the organization who looks at all of our processes, packaging, etc. We communicate to the customer and tell him why we don't have a fancy packaging. If there's a primary pack, the industry has a practice of actually having an outer carton that's going to cost you anywhere between 15 to 18 to 23 rupees. So we're doing away with all of that and saying, talking about the wellness on the planet, right? So, it works out and consumers willing to listen to you. So,
Kavin, what's your returning customer rate and what's your return rate?
Returning customer rate is 60%.
Online?
Yeah, online.
Do you map it offline as well?
Till now, not yet. I think I'll probably take a look at it. But in the online, it's 60-40 because I think as we're acquiring new customers, you need that 40% of new customers is always coming in. And so it's a decent ratio which we have. And in terms of customer returns, initially when we started off, it was 15 to 18. Now we've reduced to 10. But naturally, it will be really high because again in the apparel, it's again fit and the comfort, the fabric. It's only the image which they're bringing. So naturally, it's going to be high in the initial phase of it, and slowly it will drastically reduce.
Great. I think it's been very interesting. Some very interesting insights for us. Because we're running a little late, I want to cut short the session. Are there any questions in the audience? Does anybody have any questions? Or can we call it a day quickly? Yeah, we'll send you a mic. You're a little... Ask her.
I would say they'll be different for different industries. Like, for example, for us it is 50-50%, but it may be different for others. But then, like you said, there is an expense on offline also, right? We have the rent, electricity, AC, and all that. Whereas in online also we have different other expenses. So there's a balance there also.
See, in my opinion, there is no perfect ratio. It depends on the product or the service that you are actually offering. So in our case, being a hyper-local model, we are your neighborhood meat retail store. So when we are in your neighborhood and barely 10 minutes or 5 minutes by walk, the customer repeat rates are very high, right? Now, it's hard to say, how to plan this. It doesn't happen like that. And also this fact about offline being operationally expensive is not true. Again, it depends on the product. For us, all of our stores double up as hubs. All of the online orders are moved to the store nearest to you. So we are utilizing that infrastructure for multiple reasons. So the cost is amortized. So you have to look at it in that sense. So there is no perfect formula to say that offline is expensive or online is expensive. It depends on your product and service and what you're trying to do out with the infrastructure there.
I'll just add to Sir's point. I think exactly he said there's no particular percentage, but the only thing which you need to very closely look at is in the e-commerce, are you profitable? Because it's very easy to slip into a phase where you'll burn out a lot of money. So if you're doing well, if you're profitable, keep growing, increasing your sales, and the ratio does not matter.
So all of you are profitable in e-commerce. The people who are profitable in e-commerce, please raise your hands here. I didn't know that
Marginally
that was possible.
profitable.
I didn't know that was possible, but yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Any other questions? Okay, we're good to go then. Thank you so much. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.